Hi, I'm Steve and this is the third video of the restoration of my Mark 1 Consul. The next job is to replace this passenger side rear jacking point. I welded this in 1980 before I owned the car, and as you can see I wasn't worried about any restoration repairs. I did this just to get it through the MOT. It's so rusty I thought, right, I'll get a new one. Now these jacking points are available now in the owners, through the owners club, and I bought this 9 years ago, never fitted it, and I bought it from a guy called Emlyn Bowdler, and he's made a brilliant job with this jacking point because when I tried it up there it absolutely fits really well. It fits like a glove. I've been looking around for some sheet metal to do some practice welds on, and they always say that you must have the same thickness metal, so I mic'd this up, this inner sill section, and that turns out to be approximately 18 gauge, and the outer seal is approximately 21 gauge. So it looks as though I'm going to be using 18 gauge for all my patch repairs. I drilled the old spot welds out along here and the other edge, so what I've decided to do is to do some drill some holes in the new one matching these ones and try to do some plug welds, but I need a lot of practice before I actually touch the car. This is just held in there, it's not welded, it just comes out like that. So there's a hole here, there's the big one on the outer seal, and then there's two little holes here. I think I will start doing these little holes first to try to get into practice with my MIG, because I haven't used it and I'm not an experienced welder at all. Well, I just made this patch. It's being held on with that bar magnet, and I've got that face and that face level, and there's a gap all the way around the thickness of a hacksaw blade, and I intend to make one or two little tacks here, and then I'm going to level it here because I can't get it level both sides. I have now completed my first body patch. I stitched welded it all round. As you can see, it's a bit of a mess, and I blobbed it all on. I've shone a light behind there. There's no pinholes or anything like that, and I ground the weld off with this flat wheel. First time I've ever used a flat wheel, and I got these flat wheels in Lidl, and this is an 80 grit wheel. Ground all the welds off, and then I finished off with file and then with cloth across here, and you can see that the actual patch is lower than the rest of the bodywork, which is just what I want, because I'm going to put a skimmer filler over here and hopefully over this patch as well, and hopefully you won't see any repair when it's painted. I just started to cut a patch to go on this outer bit here, and then I realised there's actually a pinhole here, right there, rust, so I'm going to cut down with a hacksaw down here, and this here is a very thin section there. That is a real rush track down there, so I'm going to put this outer patch on, and then I will spray some primer etch right up there all the way down on the inside. Right, today I've been busy making 3 little patches. That one goes on the inside of the patch that I've already done, and a long one here and a slightly shorter one on the inside of that. I will do this one first, because then that will enable me to spray and rust proof this outer seal first before I do the inner ones, because there will be some burn off, and then I can always spray it again when I've done the inner ones. I've been watching YouTube, loads of different videos how to weld, and I found a guy called, and his channel is called Trevor's Blog, and he's doing an old CA van up, and he's very inventive. He's not an experienced welder, but he come up with this idea. He used lint-free cloth, and he soaks this with water, not too much, and the idea is the heat will dissipate through the damp cloth. So I thought that was a very good idea, and I'm going to try it when I do this patch. I have a new toy for my birthday. It's called a Silverline belt sander. I've seen guys use these on the internet, and they use air operated belt sanders, so I didn't want to use my compressor for that. So I bought it on the internet, and then I ordered these blue belts. They're kind of a new material, and it's called zirconia, and I must admit I've been using this one belt all day long, and it's getting a bit fine now, but yeah, it does seem to hold up better than ordinary emery cloth that you get with these things. Anyway, I used that when I put the 2 patches on the inside here. Don't know if you can see that with the light. I'll try that, and that is the end result. I've shone a light behind here, and I can't see any pinholes. There probably is pinholes that just have to be filled up with paint and whatever. This blue line is the outline of the jacking point, so I'm going to tidy this up, put some tacks along, and then maybe plug weld it, see how it goes. And there's a double skin all the way around here where the outer seal meets this panel, which is part of the inner wing, goes all the way up, you know, all the way up there. So there's obviously rust in here. It's not too bad considering how old it is, and so I've opened it up. I'm going to try to clean it out with a hacksaw blade and whatever, and then I'll be filling it with weld through primer, squash it all back again, and then tack it a few places up here, maybe. Yeah, I will tack it, and then I'll spray all over here and spray all inside as much as I can. Then the next job, believe it or not, is to put this patch on, and I've bought some slip rollers to put this radius on, which I will probably talk about in the next video or the next clip. Don't know yet. It's right at the end of the day, and I was welding all down here and using my new file to make it nice and smooth, and I got a bit too confident at the top and blew this big hole in here. So I've seen on the internet that you can put copper behind it, so I got a bit of copper pipe like this, but I doubled it up so it was double that thickness, and I've clamped it behind there. and I'm going to have a go at filling that hole with weld. Yeah, that worked very well. Blobbed it on a few times and ground it down, and it's come out very nice. And this is the backing that I had, just a bit of ordinary pipe, and obviously the weld doesn't stick to the copper and it just comes away easy. So yeah, that's a success. Right, that's enough for one day. Now tomorrow I will sandblast the gap between this double skin here, and I'm going to use this sandblasting gun, and I've got a big bucket there of aluminium oxide grit, and it's what I used when I sandblasted the whole underside of the car. I put a rubber pipe on here and I put it into the big bucket, and I went over, and it took me forever to do that. It took me so long to do that. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I will spray weld through primer all round tomorrow.